how do you get your fastest workers to be even faster without totally freaking out the rest of your team? Back in the industrial age, that was the million-dollar question. So today, we're going to dive into a pretty clever and, yeah, a little controversial solution from the past. It's a system that promised a bonus for speed, but also had a safety net for everyone else.
I mean, just imagine, your boss comes to you with that deal. Finish your work early, you get a bonus. Take the full amount of time? Hey, no problem, you still get your full day's pay. It honestly sounds like a modern tech company perk, right? But this idea, it's over 100 years old, and it has a name.
Yep, it's called the Halsey Premium Plan. And the simple genius behind it was this two-part promise. You get a safety net for the average worker, but a carrot on a stick for your top performers. It was a really novel attempt to line up what the company wanted, which was speed, with what the worker needed, a stable, reliable paycheck.
Okay, so how did this thing actually work out on the factory floor? The theory sounds great and all, but the real magic, and let's be honest, the controversy, is all in the math. So let's run the numbers on a classic example to see how it shakes out.
All right, so here's the setup. The standard task is to make 20 of something. Let's call them widgets. And the standard time to do that is 10 hours. The base pay is locked in at $2 an hour. But here's the key ingredient. If you save time, the company will split the value of that saved time with you 50-50. Let's see how that actually plays out.
So first, let's talk about that safety net. If a worker takes the full 10 hours to make those 20 units, the math is super simple. 10 hours times $2 an hour, that's $20. Boom! They met the standard, they get the standard pay. No bonus, but hey, no penalty either. Their wage is totally secure.
Okay, now for the fun part. What about a really efficient worker? Someone who's got their system down and manages to produce the exact same 20 units, but they shave 2 full hours off the standard time. How does the plan reward them?
Let's break down their pay. First, you've got the base wage for the 8 hours they actually worked, which is $16. Now for the bonus, they saved 2 hours. The value of that time is $4. That's 2 hours at $2 an hour, and their premium is 50%, so they get an extra $2. You add that bonus to their base pay,
And you get $18. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait a second. The slower worker got $20 and the faster worker only got $18? That doesn't seem fair at all. But just hang on, because the total pay for the task isn't the whole story. Not even close.
And this is where the real genius, or maybe the trick of the whole plan, reveals itself. Look at the effective hourly rate. The standard worker made exactly $2 an hour, but our fast worker, by earning $18 in just 8 hours, their rate jumps up to $2.25 an hour. So they actually made more money per hour, and they walked away with 2 hours of their day back. That was the real prize.
So yeah, the incentive was pretty powerful. But as you can probably imagine, any system that pushes for speed above all else is going to create its own set of problems. This was a true balancing act, with some pretty serious pros and cons on both sides.
I mean, the upside was obvious. Employers got more stuff made, and fast workers got bigger paychecks. It really seemed like a win-win. But the downsides, they were big. If you guarantee a wage, some workers are just going to coast. And if you incentivize speed over everything else, you're just asking for sloppy work, wasted materials, and maybe even broken machines. All of a sudden, management isn't fully in control of the pace of production anymore. And for them, that's a huge risk.
So, after looking at the mechanics and all the trade-offs, what's the final verdict? What's the one core idea we should really take away from the Halsey plan? This really just sums it all up, doesn't it? For the workers, it provides a sense of security, which can boost morale and lower tension. But for the employer, it's a gamble. They're basically betting that the motivation for a bonus will be stronger than the temptation to just coast or rush the job. It's a calculated risk on human nature, really.
And that brings us right back to today. See, the Halsey plan was designed for a world of assembly lines and manual tasks, where units per hour was a really clear and easy metric. But what about now? In jobs that are all about creativity or problem solving or deep thinking, is finishing faster always better? It leaves us with a really critical question. How do we even measure, let alone reward, what's truly valuable in the modern workplace?